Hello and welcome back to the cronecast at the Rising Moon. My name is Elaine, and on this channel, I do this, the Spirit Guide Monthly, live every last Friday of the month, and I do hope you're able to join me. We're going to wait and make sure that this is launched so that I can now shut me up. Hello, welcome back. We have 4 piles and a pick a card for May. What is coming up in May of 2022 for our collective? Welcome back to the cronecast at the Rising Moon. I've said that like 3 different times, and there's a reason. I'm a little bit scattered. I have extra dogs here today and everything. I'm going to give you a moment to pick your pile, concentrate, see which one calls out to you. Of course, I have an unreasonable number of oracle cards involved here, but I think we've got everything set up now. Hey, don't forget to look for those lessons in magic, how to manifest. We've got a new moon tomorrow, which is a black moon, which is actually a very potent time for manifesting. I'm going to get the piles out of the way here. And I found my tabletops. Like I said, I went a little nuts with the oracle cards this time. And hopefully it's because we have a lot of things going on in May. I hope everybody had a beautiful April. Lots happened around here. Hope a lot happened for you as well. There we go. Let's get everybody out of the way. There we go. Sorry, guys. No, I'm not actually doing all that well with my timing here. The meeting failed to launch the first time, and it always discombobulates me. Okay, there we go. We've got pile 4 there too. All right. For some reason, it's a little squishy in here today. All right, let's get going with this. Am I in the frame? Is everything lined up? Yes, it is. Or it's good enough. I'm going to adjust that just the tiniest little bit. Here we go. All right, let's see what May has for us. Remember, timestamps will be edited in after the broadcast. Let's get going here. The Thelema deck is bringing pile number 1, your predictive spread. I'll get your tabletop out here in a moment. I did find my missing tabletop. There we go, pile number 1. So as I was saying about the new moon is in Taurus, which is an earth sign. So it's already like particularly suited to abundance, to prosperity magic, and to money magic. And then it's also a black moon, and a black moon has several different definitions. But in this particular instance, it means that there has been more than one new moon within a calendar month. And that makes it a particularly auspicious time for manifesting. So if you've been planning on any type of money magic, remember you can burn bay leaves if you don't know how to do any money magic. Then you can burn bay leaves in an intention candle, asking for your wishes to be fulfilled. All right, let's get going. Like I said, I have extra dogs here today. So if you see a bunch of dogs in the background, that's why. Let's get going for pile number 1. What's coming up in May for them? We're gonna get this shuffled, and then we're gonna go through your oracle cards. Let's see what we have. The cookie card and the angel card are the ones that I saved for the end. The premise behind the angel answers card is that if you have a question I did not answer in the course of this reading, then hopefully the angel answer card will. And then the cookie cards are just kind of fun. It's predicated on a fortune cookie. Sometimes they're fun. Sometimes they're a little bit morning. We'll see which ones you get. All right, you have strength, the elk and ash. That's always a good energy. That is a confident energy. That is a strong energy. It's a courageous energy as well. With unmarked trail, revelation, something new beginning. Let's see how it's going to challenge you. That strength card always intrigues me because I'm not sure if it means that you'll be overcoming something and leaving it in the rearview mirror, or if you're going to be challenged by something. Let's find out. Revelation, huh? Deep knowing. All right. With a leg up. Deep knowing and a leg up. Apparently your spirit guides and your ancestors are really going to be trying to guide you. It's that revelation energy. We have denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. Hey, let's talk a little tiny bit about fear. People think that fear is something that can hold them back, when most of the time when we're doing something, if you're doing it in a fearful state, even if you're trying your hardest, trying to go forward on something, that's courage. Courage does not look like confidence as it's going forward. Courage often comes from a fearful place, and then we conquer something, we feel better about it, that builds our strength. If you're living in a fearful place, understand that you can talk yourself into overcoming it. Your self-talk is one of the things that will help guide you through a difficult period. Tell yourself that you can overcome. Give yourself accolades as well as criticisms. People have a tendency to be their worst enemy. Try being your best friend and your biggest cheerleader. It makes such a big difference. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. Understand there's nothing wrong with fear. The only thing that is wrong, because fear can be protective. Fear is not a bad thing. It's acknowledging it, understanding where it's coming from, perhaps from a place of fearing failure, and then understanding that even if you do fail, it means that there's a lesson to be learned. Usually we can talk ourselves out of fear, and we can also opt to simply go towards something else. If you find yourself in an anxiety spiral, remember ground, 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 that helps tremendously. And then also simply your self-talk can help tremendously. Just tell yourself you're not going to follow that rabbit down the hole, go do something else when you're getting into an anxiety spiral. But don't think that if you are approaching things and you're like, I'm nervous, I'm fearful, but you're still doing it, that's actually courage. It's the hardest thing to explain to people. But if you're not aware that you're doing something challenging, something that is maybe making you a little bit uncomfortable, then that's not really courage. Courage is when we do something despite challenges. All right, and I have entrepreneur. Self-employment suits your disposition and intentions. Working for yourself allows you to better allow your intuition and divine guidance. We are your coworkers and teammates who remain loyally by your side to ensure success in all ways. This is interesting to me. Team, a deep knowing, a leg up, revelation. And then this is very clearly saying that your spirit guides are trying to help you in business, in gain. And, do you have to work for yourself? Of course not. But if you are a self-proprietor or a sole proprietor, then don't forget tapping in is a very important part of trying to get our guidance. And it won't work the way people think it does. They think when they meditate, they'll get answers and they will be actionable and they'll be very aware that, oh, I know what I'm supposed to do now. Things are implanted into our subconscious mind when we meditate. Every single time you meditate, it does something, even if it is not the most comfortable, because anxious people don't meditate well. What you can do is listen to guided meditations. You can also clean or exercise while listening to meditation music. You don't have to be still in a lotus position to get good answers. But it is important, even if you do not enjoy meditating, to take some time in the way that works for you to try and tap in. For me, like going to gardens, hiking, that kind of thing helps a great deal. I have toadstools, which is growth. Strength, growth, revelations. Lots going on for you today. And then I had 2 cards for our shadow work, the things that we might encounter and we need to be aware of. Hermit, seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal creativity. But the shadow attribute is withdraws from society out of fear of negative judgments of others, refusing to help those in need. If you like to be alone, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But make sure that it's not because you fear other people. If you're fearing other people, then you're expecting your past outcomes to predict your forward outcomes, the future outcomes. And they don't. As you change, your outcomes change. Remember, if you've been taking time to heal, then learning better boundaries, you'll be able to self-protect. People are not always disappointing. It is absolutely okay to enjoy your own company, but make it, if it's not a joyful thing, if you're choosing it from a fearful place, remember that is just a stage in healing. Try to be courageous and go ahead and push past that. Allow yourself to mix and mingle. Send a text to somebody that make sure that you're the person starting the conversation sometimes. Hermits have a tendency, and I'm a very reclusive person, but hermits have a tendency to not reach out first. They wait for other people to come to them. And they also have a tendency to shut out other people, usually because they've been hurt a great deal in the past. We have Virgin, light attribute, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit, but the shadow attribute is fear of intimate union. This can come into play when people have had a bad breakup or they haven't had very good dating experiences. And they withdraw from the idea of connecting, not because they have found happiness by themselves, but because they fear what's out there. When you're healed, your energy signature changes and the type of people that you attract changes as well. Please don't judge all of humanity by the people who may have hurt you in the past. People are brought to us to help us learn lessons. And sometimes those lessons are difficult, but every time we learn a lesson, it does not repeat, which means that new things come to us and healthier energies are coming to us as well. And then I have, okay, Coyote, revealer of truth. Don't take things too seriously. Make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. Coyotes are supposed to have a very good sense of humor. They are supposed to be able to laugh at life. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Please learn to laugh at your mistakes. Whatever it might be in, learning to view yourself with fondness, with compassion, like kind of look at anything that you've done in the same way you would look at like a child you really liked, somebody that you really wanted to love and encourage, and what you might think of a mistake they made, and apply that to yourself because you deserve love, encouragement, and compassion as well. And then we have give without expectation. Remember, a generous energy is an abundant energy and it attracts things far more easily as well. It creates that wonderful flow, that give and take, the energy exchange that's important to all forms of magic. Generosity is not just about money. It's being generous with your time, with your attention, with your intent as well. Remember, if you approach things with a good intent, you'll get better outcomes. Let's go for pile number 1, the Thelema deck. So beaten up, but I love this deck. It's a great deck. And it's funny because it kind of looks like it has a Barbie doll on the outside of the box. And that's not the energy of it at all. But I almost didn't buy it because of that image. And I'm so glad I did because it has the clearest reads. Okay, I have the 4 of Swords in the upright. That's a meditative, contemplative energy. It's also can be being on pause just that little bit too long. Page of Pentacles in the upright. Death card in the upright. Death does not mean death, but it's a Scorpio card. Death is new beginnings. It's rebirth energy. Queen of Wands in reverse, frustrated energy. 7 of Pentacles in the upright. That's a trust the process energy. It's a seed card. It is allowing things to take the time they need to grow and to flourish as well. It looks like you're frustrated with the pace of multiple things. Judgment in the upright in the short-term outlook. That's new karmic cycles beginning. Remember, we're headed into an eclipse season, particularly if you have Taurus anywhere in your chart. Hello, Taurus, my people. It's a very auspicious time for manifestations. It's also a new cycle beginning. I have the Queen of Pentacles in the upright, and that is Earth sign energy, which is Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. What a good month for business. Devil in reverse. I have this thing where I think you're going to be overcoming fears in May. Like, I don't know if it's a fear of public speaking or what it is, but it's like you're going to be asked to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Make sure to tap in for guidance. You will have help with that. 3 of Cups in reverse and the hopes and fears. If you're isolating because you're afraid that other people will be hurtful to you or you've had disappointments in the past, try to overcome that. And it doesn't need to be close friendships. Really, if you've been burned so badly that you're like, never again, then at least get out there and go to art fairs, go to street fairs, go to any place that will allow you to mingle with living energy, because it helps your energy signature for receiving. You don't have to have relationships or friendships or anything else that you might not want. But remember that give and take, that kind of energy flow is incredibly important to our spiritual path and to a successful energy as well. 10 of Pentacles in the upright. Well, hallelujah. That's good contract energy. That's also good money energy. It's security. It can be life partner energy as well. Oh, wow. Complete cycles all over the place because you just got 10 and then 10 in reverse, 10, 10. Download codes. I did a video on what downloads are and what download codes look like within readings. It's usually 1 number in the upright followed by 1 in reverse, and that is a complete cycle. You have completed a cycle in your journey and new ones are beginning. And what is that completed cycle? Usually a learning phase is concluded. If you have felt like 2022 has just been nothing but like pushing at your boundaries, testing you, frustrating you, irritating you. It is not that that's how it's going to be forever, but you had done all of this work and it really was like you're testing to get into the next level. That's what the Judgment card is as well. The Empress in the upright. Oh, good. Indulgence, love and life. That is the goddess energy. Can be the birth of new things as well. The Empress is the feminine divine. This is good energy. It's like you don't have to worry about something any longer. You've overcome a great many fears. Work is going super well. You're just too wedded to isolating sometimes. But other than that, 4 cups in reverse, underlying issues having been resolved with the 7 of cups in reverse. Justice in the upright is a fair and balanced outcome. It is also the divine timing card. It's also the card for Libras. I have the King of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse, 9 of Cups in the upright. That is fulfillment. That is happiness. The 9 of Cups is, all the nines are about individuality. When the 9 of Cups is in the upright, it's a good manifestation energy. It's a good energy for having things that you have been hoping for come in. Remember, when we're really serving our highest self, no matter how much magic you might do, or manifestation work you might do, or meditative work that you might do, things come to us in divine timing. That's what the Justice card is. Divine timing drives people insane, but it doesn't mean waiting. It means things come to us when they're meant to. So if you're like, but I've been waiting for something for 3.5 years, how can it possibly not be time? Because there are other things that you are learning. There may be skills that you need to put into place in order to handle what you're asking for. Trust that the divine knows what it is doing. Even if you're frustrated, even if you're alone, remember the only way to truly be happy with another person is to start out by being happy with ourselves. So lean in on enjoying your life and finding a way to enjoy every single day. Where I live, it's so beautiful. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. Hanged Man in reverse. That's another coming out of stasis. Queen of Cups in reverse. It's like your intuition is going to be like honed and focused and tuned. And then I have the Magician in reverse. Okay. That's the Knight of Swords in the upright. It's a likely traveler energy. What have we got going on here? Good month. It's a little bit like there's almost too many opportunities in the workplace. That King of Pentacles in reverse, don't let fear of the future cause you to overwork. My collective is incredibly prone to that. You've got a little bit of a depressive energy coming out of April that you need to be working on. Exercise is great for that. Meditation can be great for that. Art therapy can work incredibly well for that. And so can cognitive behavioral therapy, in which you kind of choose your emotional direction by assessing what your mood is or your emotions are within a particular moment and going towards an energy of something that will help kind of transmute your energy to a more positive thing. I always tell my clients, TikTok is amazing for that because it's 30 seconds to 3 minutes long, which is about the attention span of somebody who's anxious or depressed, and it can reset your energy. What you regularly tune into on those small apps, it feeds your feed. So go towards things that are happy, uplifting. Sometimes there's a lot of good spiritual work on TikTok as well. You had like your 2022 has just been frustrating the crap out of you, but May is like, that's the time where the path is just really clear. The only thing I kind of don't like is I have a relationship in your life in which somebody routinely kind of yanks you around. I think they're a friend. It's taken you kind of a while to recognize that they might have some trauma responses that make them akin to a narcissist, meaning that they're in so much pain, sometimes they're a little too self-involved. You are going to have a call to set good boundaries on that. Revelation, if you are willing to do the work, which is, it's a practice. Remember, a practice means that you do it regularly around meditation. It looks like your psychic gifts are really going to be expanding. Good flow with everything, but a little bit too much isolation socially. Again, it looks like it's your choice, and your spirit guides are trying to urge you to please remember, you're going to live best in a balanced energy. And it's fine if you like spending time alone, just don't spend all of your time alone. The Queen of Pentacles in the upright is somebody who's very secure. You're going to be very focused in May. There's a lot of opportunity, and apparently you're trying to learn a new skill as well with that Page of Pentacles in the upright. For people who are, I've got a breakup on the table, but I think it's one that is around you versus in your life, because it's the Ace of Swords in reverse. I don't think it's affecting you. I don't like that Magician in reverse. The Magician in reverse is a trickster, but with that Devil in reverse in the external area, I think that it's going to feel like you went to boot camp, and there's an opportunity for you to kind of test out the skills that you have been making sure that you have over the course of the beginning of 2022. It's been a little bit of a frustrating ride for this group is the thing. Death coming back to life after a period of stasis as well. There's this weird, what is this? I think you've got a friendship that's coming to an end. I do. And it may have something to do with that energy I was talking about, where you've kind of like this. I don't think they're a covert narcissist. Honest to goodness, I think they're just somebody who was so badly hurt that they got stuck in the understanding that they had been victimized stage of healing, which is a stage in healing from trauma. Now, ideally, or like kind of, in order to heal, you require going past that. Recognition of being victimized is only part of a healing journey. Then you have to determine that it's like, okay, that did happen. Why? Well, why does anything happen to anybody? I need to figure out how to do better with this, how to go forward, how to leave the past behind so I can have better outcomes. Some people don't make it to that stage. And this particular person, it looks like has been kind of treading water in the understanding that something terrible happened to them, and they can't figure out how to move past it because they feel a little powerless, but they're not, I don't know. It's like somebody's trying to rely on you too much, and you're going to need to set some boundaries around that. Birth, universal energy brings you opportunity and possibility. Looks like an awesome month for business with that 10 of Pentacles in the upright. Your stress level goes way down. There's a slightly, like I said, I keep picking up this weird isolated energy here. Don't focus too much on work. Balance has been something you've been seeking out for kind of a long time. Do I have anything with romances, beginning a potential new relationship starting, possibly with an earth sign, because I have a lot of pentacles on this table. Remember, it's Taurus season, so that makes sense as well. It's a 3D meeting. You are likely to meet them through a workplace gathering or meeting. Yeah, there's your solitude card, compass. That is, again, ascertaining. Make sure that if you're spending a lot of time alone, it is not coming from a fearful place. It's not based on, well, people suck, so I need to just hang out with me. And why is that important? Because one is a confident energy and one is a fearful energy. And over here, you have the denial card is, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. Just examine your choices to make sure that you're making them from a healthy place and a place of celebrating and enjoying your life. And it kind of looks like you have better connections available to you now, but you kind of don't go towards them. Spirit of place, follow the leader, education. Told you you'd be reading something, and then dry desert. I'm putting dry desert away because it simply does not fit the energy. There we go. And let's see what else we have going for the magical messages. Education. It is like you're going to be asked to expand your skill set. It is something having to do with work. Meditating will help a great deal with that. Like I said, it's the leg up. These download codes, remember, if you're a light worker, if you're a light warrior, if you're a healer, then you do have universal guidance available to you if you're willing to tap into it. And why would you have universal guidance available to you uniquely as a light worker or a light warrior? Because we're in a time of transition of trying to heal the energy of an imbalanced world. And so you have a lot of ancestral knowledge available to you. When you're trying to learn something new, make sure that you're meditating on a regular basis because you do have assistance in that area. And your frustration, like you're getting much better about it, but your frustration has really been express your individuality, allow your true self to shine because you're awesome. Your frustration has been guiding your choices about what you will do, like to try and expand your universe. Like you just want to feel better. And so it looks like you keep trying to, like this 3 of Pentacles, the 3 of Cups in reverse, 4 of Cups in reverse, 7 of Cups in reverse, is you'll do almost anything for peace at this stage. And the Virgin thing, because it's such an individual thing, but it kind of looks like you're being urged, if you're single and you've recovered from a breakup, to start considering dating again. That's just what it looks like to me, because I've got a little bit too much solitude. You've learned your lessons with that education thing. You have people who are interested in you. It looks like you shoot them down almost with a bazooka whenever they come anywhere near you. Yes, I'm probably the person receiving this message. That's okay. So why am I not taking my own advice on that? I just have other things to concentrate on. It's not actually from a fearful place. If I met the right person tomorrow, I'm sure that I'd end up with a lovely relationship, but I have not met the right person. I've met a lot of tests. Let's go for the higher love oracle. But this particular pile is being urged to examine your choices around that. You have invitations coming your way. It looks like you turn them down, make sure it's for the right reasons. May is one of those months where you kind of like you be careful with your hyper focus. Just be careful with your hyper focus. Remember, cognitive behavioral therapy is all about resetting your energy signature. Whenever you find yourself just compulsively doing something over and over and over again, try to take a greater perspective of it, note your own behavior and correct it. Why it will just allow things to come to you more easily. Higher love. I'm going to use Teacher Lang's deck as well. I'll drop a link to in the description box down below. Teacher's one of my clients. She made the Apparently So Oracle deck. I've been using it in readings. She did send it to me for free. By the rules of YouTube, I need to tell you that. But if you order it, I don't receive anything. I'm just trying to help out a fellow creator. I have this 9 of Cups. It's like it's money, though. That's a manifestation and wish fulfillment thing. There's a lot about money here and a lot about having like very firm boundaries around connecting with other human beings. Be very careful, simply because money is not happiness. And if you've kind of settled into that energy where it's like, but if I had enough money, I could just indulge myself and be perfectly happy by myself. That's wonderful. It's great that you're learning how to be incredibly happy and independent and thriving. But if you're excluding other people because I don't want them to hurt me, then that's a fearful energy. If you're having a really good time and it's like, no, I'd rather do that by myself because I like to be able to focus on the art or whatever it is. If you're going to a museum, we have major ending, new beginning, ending of a karmic cycle, beginning of a new one. We have positive transition, transformation, rest and relaxation, end of a learning phase, and then moderation and self-control. Listen, the only thing that I've got for group number 1 is that there is a compulsive energy that is not quite OCD, meaning that it's not the same thing as I have to, check if the oven has been turned off 458 times exactly before I leave the house. I'm not mocking OCD. It's a prison for somebody's mind. And a cognitive behavioral therapy is one of the things that can help people get out of that energy. But people who have been traumatized frequently have compulsive energies and compulsive habits, safety seeking. And you like to safety seek around money, according to this pile. You've been doing a much better job. It looks like you're going to be relaxing a little bit, but it also looks like you're going to be relaxing almost entirely by yourself. Again, please just examine your choices to make sure you're living in the healthiest energy that you can. And I do have people trying to ask you out. And like that Ace of Swords in reverse, it genuinely is like before they can even get the invitation out of their mouth, you have 4 different ways to say no. And it's not based on the person. It's not based on what they're asking you to do. It is based on the fact that you're like, no, I don't want to get hurt. And people aren't naturally hurtful. If you had somebody in your life with this devil in reverse external influence, remember you've healed from that. You've healed from that. When you're different, you get different outcomes. And if you're just saying, well, you know what? No, I just like being by myself, and that's cool. Just examine your choices to make sure that that's what you're really doing. May's a great month for money. It's a great month to allow yourself to expand more socially. Wonderful month for manifestation. They're sorry we're closed. Apparently, if they were sorry, they wouldn't have done it in the first place. That's that relationship from the past as well. It's like you have a chance to confront a repeating pattern that you took a while to recognize. Again, that person who I think is stuck kind of in I've recognized that I've been victimized, but like I just tread water there and have not actually moved towards healing. It is okay to outgrow somebody. If that person is not growing with you, it's okay to leave them in the past, but it looks like they're putting some extra demands on you. We have Empress status. We have the Empress over there. Apparently, you'll be living in the high cotton, which again, such good money energy on this. The eclipse season is bringing all kinds of success. I like that. Remember, you have 3 days around the new moon. The new moon is tomorrow. To do any type of manifestation work, you can simply write down, you can script out your manifestations as well. It's just an auspicious time. So make sure you're leaning in on doing that to get the best outcomes that you can. I did not get your wellness cards. I'm going to in a moment, but I'm going to ask for pile number 1. What does May have in store for pile number 1? We have so many oracle cards on the table. I got a little carried away. There we go. 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron, tap in, make sure that you figure out a practice that works for you. If you really don't want to sit and meditate for half an hour a day because it feels like wasted time to you, do it right before you go to bed. Do it right before you get up in the morning. You can do it in a prone position if you need to. I know that they want your chakras in alignment. Honest to goodness, energy is far more flexible than that. Just try to open your mind. And again, if you've got a lot of anxiety issues, go to sleep listening to guided meditations. The fact that they supply the imagery quite frequently helps people focus. If you have Amazon Prime, my favorite one is Julie Rader's Yoga Nidra, Rader. Patience, it's a healing energy. This is a very first chakra archangel, Michael, which is about security, community, caring connections, deceit. Listen, there's a challenge with a friendship that it looks like to me, like for the 4th time, I'm going to be saying this kind of needs to end. It just does not look like it's the healthiest energy for you. Is that your last test? We never have quite a last test, but you're out of a learning phase. Thank goodness. Spirit of place with education, follow the leader, solitude, and compass. Make sure if you're choosing solitude, it's for healthy reasons versus fearful reasons. And why? Because fear is a blocking energy. You're really not, if you're like, you know what, I just kind of don't want to be around other people. You're not being scolded about that, but what you're being reminded of is receptivity is one of the things that is key for manifestation. So just trying to be in a receptive state can help tremendously. Let's get some wellness cards and then we'll go to your angel answers and your cookie card. If anything else I want to check this month? I don't think so. Here we go. What do we got on the wellness? Oh, I'm sorry, your romance angels. I'm gonna like tell you to date and then not get your romance angel. Okay, hold on. Let's go for the wellness cards for pile number 1. What do we have for pile number 1? Okay, 1 and 2. I'll get an infinity oracle as well. And 3. Here we go. Okay. Healing heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. It's a friendship. It's a friendship, and it's like the last thing that you had to release. Your compassion, I think, led you to view somebody in a not very focused light. Remember, there is such a thing as covert narcissism, where it can be like they can be the most wonderful, giving person in the world in an exterior fashion, but when you get to know them personally, they're just kind of a taker, and it kind of looks like that. Photograph, looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, make new memories. Abundance, yeah. Keep a positive mindset. Manifest exactly what you want, gratitude and bliss with love call. Someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking about you and letting you know. I do have, if you are happily paired up, this means that this part of the relationship is not, part of the reading is not for you. But I do have a new relationship trying to enter your life. Don't turn it down from a fearful place. Turn it down from whether or not you like the person, or accept it from whether or not you like the person. But it is, it looks like you have a friendship that it's time to release, and that it's just, I think it's only recently dawned on you that it's a repeating pattern. Only very recently, because you had a lot of compassion for this person's pain. There we go. Let's go. Let's get the romance angel for group number 1, please. What's coming up for group number 1? 1 and 2 and 3. Remember, timestamps will be edited in after the broadcast. By the time I get to the end of it, I've said that so many times. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. I swear at the very beginning of this, it's like you're You don't have hyper focus around money, but it's really about the only place that you expand and extend yourself. Socially, it seems like you kind of have shut yourself down. Please make sure you are making those decisions from a joyful place, not a fearful place. And if you kind of determine I am making them from a fearful place, then consider taking a class, consider being the first person to text a friend that you do trust. Reaching out and creating that energetic flow is very important. Please try not to live like a hermit unless you love being a hermit. If you're living like a hermit because you are in a fearful place, just try to correct that. And again, it's not that you have to have people in your life that you don't want. It's you need to have open and receptive energy in order to manifest, in order to continue on your journey. Believe it or not, no one's meant to live in an isolated state. I have asked for help from others. You're supposed to socialize more. And then I have achievement. Now, these little paragraphs never ever mean anything, but I had so much good money energy around that. Hooray. Excellent month for money, excellent month for business, excellent month for achievement, learning new things. The only thing you're being cautioned around is you shut down socially too much. And there is one friend in your life that I think very recently kind of made you shut down even more. And if you're doubling down on the never again, recognize tests for tests. If we repair it, then we don't repeat it. You just took a little while to notice. It's like, wow, you're exactly like a particular person in my life. And once you do that, it will be over. It will be released. It will be time to move on. And speaking of moving on, that's what we're doing. We're going on to pile number 2, an unreasonable number of oracle cards. The Crow deck is bringing you a predictive spread. I'll get your little tabletop out here in a moment. All right, here we go. Let's go. Let's go with your oracle cards first. What's coming up in May of 2022 for pile number 2? Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. This is one of those don't give up energies. Even if it feels like things are taking too long, everything happens in the time that it's meant to. If you have been trying to live in a purposeful energy, if you have putting in your efforts in a purposeful energy, even if you don't have everything that you want, it is coming to you. It is coming to you. When you work in good faith with the universe is working in good faith with you. If you are raging and frustrated against the pace that things are taking, maybe what they're asking you to work on is your frustration. You got actually 2 animal oracles, and I did not realize that. So let's see what they say. I have the goat and willow, overcoming obstacles, and then the otter and cattail, which is peace. Overcoming obstacles and peace, and with perseverance. It's like a dam's going to break. A dam's going to break. Okay. I have a tidy house, clarity and organization. Hey, remember, and because anybody watching this all the way through, I'm just going to sound redundant, but if people are toning in for the piles, tomorrow is a new moon. It is a black moon. A black moon is when a full moon or a new moon repeats more than once in a calendar month. It gives new moons, which are very key to manifestation. It gives your manifestations just that extra oomph. Tomorrow would be a great day to do money magic. It would be a great day to do new love magic. It would be a great day to do a new moon ritual as well. I did put up some magic lessons that you could kind of check in with for how to prepare your space to get the best results that you possibly can. Remember, a clean atmosphere, and that's the tidy house, and the organization, a clean atmosphere yields the best results. Why? Because it ushers out old energies. It has nothing to do with your mom scolding you to pick up your room or something. It is just the energy of the past is most easily released when we kind of sweep it out on a regular basis. One of the things that you can do to clear your home of negative energies is actually to use sea salt. You have some dried rosemary and throw it in there as well. That helps as well. Rosemary is very protective, and you can sweep it up with a broom after you put it on the ground and let it sit for about 10 minutes, or you can vacuum it up. Just make sure that you kind of squirt it out afterwards, throw out the trash immediately. I have relationship. Your primary relationship is with yourself and God. These are Doreen Virtue cards, so it's going to talk about God. Remember, what we think of as God is not the God of religion. Religion is a man-made structure around a very real connection to the divine, which is faith. Religion seeks to use faith for its own power, but everyone has an ability to connect to the divine regardless of religion. That is your connection to source, your connection to your higher power. And that's what this is really talking about. Your primary relationship is with yourself and your higher power, and every other relationship follows from there. To attract, heal, or balance a relationship, then snuggle more closely with your loving creator. These are oddly worded. As you feel safe and loved within, so shall other relationships bloom and prosper. Listen, all this is saying is that if you've taken the time to really celebrate your relationship with yourself, to treat yourself as you deserve to be treated, to understand that you deserve every good thing, then that is a wonderful, loving relationship with self. Sometimes people who are codependent, a lot of people in my collective will be codependent. I had to heal from it as well. Presumably I still am. If I ever were to invite that negative energy back into my life, I will certainly try not to. It's a form of recovery. Once you've recovered from codependency and you have a good relationship with self, you will only accept the worthy into your life, which is good. That's why it's so important to take the time to heal so that you can reset your energy signature. Air spirit, which is knowledge. You've learned all the lessons that you need to in that. This actually looks really good. It's like graduation day around here or something. Don Juan and relationship. Oh my. Light attribute spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. And then the shadow attribute is using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. Empaths, there's the empath and narcissist paradigm. And why does that happen so uniquely? Empaths want to give people, they're usually trauma victims. They want to give and feel validated by receiving love from somebody else. They don't know how to love themselves because nobody ever taught them to. This is not a weakness or a character flaw. Somebody didn't give you one of your building blocks. It's usually a caretaker problem. You can fix it by yourself when you get older. Until such time as you do, you can attract people who are looking to take from you rather than to give to you. The Don Juan in the shadow attribute can be somebody who's looking to take. They can be very charming. Remember, if you have recovered from codependency, overinvestment too soon is one of the things that you need to look at. Until you really get to know somebody, you don't know somebody. And if you start dating somebody and they reveal something they have concealed, then take that as the red flag and don't say, well, I'm in this far, then I should just keep going. It's like, well, I'm already invested. Uninvest. If you find out somebody's deeply in debt or they're not really divorced or a whole bunch of other things, then they're not who they said they were. It is better to leave somebody in your rearview mirror than to keep carrying forward something that will kind of degrade your own energy. But I think that that's not what that's about. I think you have a new person coming in. Angel, helping those in need with no expectation in return, is the light attribute. The shadow attribute is acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. Two different energies of make sure that you are not looking at everybody just to look for their darker attributes. When we're healed, sometimes we really can't hold up a magnifying glass and look too closely at things, not allowing anybody else to have flaws. A flaw is like, oh God, big red flag, run away, run away. Some flaws, not all flaws are equal. People can be working on things throughout the course of their life. And remember, if you are somebody who's always reaching for your higher self, it's okay if you have stumbled moments, if that you sometimes backslide, if you lose your temper sometimes, if there are still things you're working on, you will always be a work in progress. It is just kind of the awareness that you're working on things that keeps you ever ascending. I have Lion, higher calling. You have within you have within you all the courage you need. Let go of the past and reclaim your majesty. You will find success and contentment with those by your side. Make noble choices for your life and your tribe. Knowledge, higher calling, relationship, Don Juan. Like attracts like. I think I have healed people who are attracting new relationships, and you're going to be a little fearful about them. Give yourself a chance. Remember, take it slowly. Kind of keep a checklist to make sure that, if you meet somebody, please don't start planning your whole life together with them after you've only known them for 3 months. People can still be concealing things. Take the time it takes to get to know somebody. Even if you're very connected to them, Think of your past and remember, go back to the relationships that maybe didn't work out, make a list of the red flags that you accidentally ignored, and it does forearm you for your next relationships. That doesn't mean that all people will have these toxic red flags. Just when people are recovering from codependency, they reach a stage where they're ready to start dating. And to not repeat a pattern, you have to be very cognizant of the things that constitute that pattern. And one of them is meeting somebody and thinking, it's a great relationship. It's a great relationship. How long have you been seeing each other? 8 weeks. Y'all don't know each other yet. Keep trying. It takes at least 6 months before you really have a sense of somebody because they're on their best behavior until then. As are you, higher power. And then I have to be fair. Hey, that to be fair and higher power, please keep in mind that everybody really, no one's going to be perfect. We are enough as we are, but we are all here to improve and to keep going towards our higher selves. You are lovable as you are. You do not need to be perfect to be lovable. Everybody has their little foibles. Everybody is working on something. Making sure that you're not excusing toxic or abusive behaviors is one thing. Not allowing other people to have any little things that they're working on is another one. This is an interesting one because it's like a new relationship is trying to come into your life. And whoever this is describing so far, you did enough work to heal that it's either somebody has to have tumbled down from Mount Olympus before you'll let them in their front door, or you're cutting everybody off at the pass type of thing. There we go. If you hear someone barking, like I said, I'm awash in dogs today. I'm very sorry. There we go. Let's get going for group number 2. What do we have? Hey, Chewy, no. Sorry. What's going on? Let's go for pile number 2. Let's go for pile number 2. 1 and 2. What do we got for pile number 2 for May? But to be fair to yourself as well. Don't be disillusioned about romance. There's still beautiful love in this world. If you have healed and your idea of what love and romance and relationships is different, that doesn't mean it's lesser. People who have taken all this time to heal, particularly from codependency and toxic relationship dynamics, because they like to lose themselves so entirely in a relationship, they think that real love, supportive love, and healthy love sounds boring because I'm thoroughly independent. I don't really need another person. I can support myself. I can take care of myself. I can do all this stuff by myself. Where is the role of another person in my life? If they're not ever going to do anything for me, I don't need them at all. Why would I need another person? Because relationships are not there to meet our needs. We are meant to meet our needs. Relationships are there to enhance our joy in life. Sometimes we provide for support for others and they provide support for us, but that cannot be a foundational aspect of a relationship or it becomes toxic. There is still room for love in your life and give it a chance. If you've never had healthy love, maybe it's the most wonderful thing in the world. I have the 3 of Swords in the upright. And that does not surprise me for the current card here. I have this energy of somebody who got their heart so broken that they're like, yeah, you know what? I'm functional now. I'm happy. I approach the world with a joyful heart and when I wake up every day, and I do not want anybody else to do this to me ever again. No one will ever be able to do anything to you again. You will spot it before it happens. Does that mean you might heave some people overboard? Yes. Oh my goodness. You might be like, oh, wow, you're just like a checklist of my past relationships. No way, no how. Those are called test pancake relationships, and the universe will send them to you as you are in the, if you repair it, you will not repeat it. First, you have to have the repeating energy signature returning to you so that you can reject it, so that you can reset your energy to something that is healthier, something that is a higher vibration, something that is in a healthier love vibration as well. I have that with the Hanged Man in the upright, Knight of Pentacles in the upright, that's a card of working on things, 3 of Cups in the upright, 6 of Pentacles in reverse. I have the Queen of Swords in reverse, 5 of Cups in reverse. Those reversals are not bad. Whenever I'm reading for people and I start saying reverse, they get very nervous. Reversals aren't bad. It just changes the meaning. And sometimes it's more positive. This, for instance, is only positive in reverse for me. The 5 of Cups in the upright is grieving and mourning and loss, and sometimes like making too much of a negative situation. But in reverse like that, it's making the most of the things that remain to us after a grieving cycle. 3 of Pentacles in reverse. It's like you're too independent. Ace of Swords in reverse. Is everybody going to get the message again? 6 of Swords in the upright. Sailing towards smooth waters. It's a peaceful time. It's a rescue energy. Can it be being ghosted? Yes. I don't have any reason to believe that. Page of Swords in reverse. I have the Queen of Wands in the upright. That's a strange email that you're going to receive around the 10th of May. It'll contain key information for your future going forward. It's going to be a little bit surprising. It will allow you to be far more independent. I have the 7 of Cups in reverse. With the 4 of Cups in reverse, that's something happening behind the scenes. That's exactly what I was just talking about. 7 of Cups in reverse, which is something coming into reality. Knight of Swords in reverse. It's like messages go back and forth on that. Page of Cups in the upright. 5 of Wands in the upright. 9 of Swords in the upright as well. With the World in reverse, 7 of Wands in the upright, 8 of Wands in reverse. Okay, so the biggest piece of that information is like, please allow people to at least talk to you. It's okay if you shoot them down because of who they really are, but it's not okay if you're shooting them down because of who you're assuming them to be. It's just a test around your healing. That's how I've got with the 6 of Pentacles in reverse and the Queen of Swords in reverse. Like you cut things off the paths in a lot of areas. You're very self-protective now, and it's almost like your boundaries are made out of steel, and it's okay if you downgrade them just ever so slightly and move them ever so slightly closer in, because you have learned how to protect yourself. I have confusion around a new relationship that I think it's somebody who really wants to be your friend. This is interesting. You have come to suspect that people are lying to you a lot because you were lied to in the past. And so you think boundaries are about not trusting anybody. And that's not what it is. It means that you have trust, but you only extend it to people as they earn it. So you can meet somebody and you kind of have that like, hey, you might be okay. We'll wait and see. But I am going to keep an eye out for your red flags, but don't assume that they're there. It's a balance to strike. Only react to the negative. Don't assume that it's there. And the reason I'm stressing this is like, it's just, you're just that little bit too difficult to reach now. Great. What do we have around work? A lot of progress in a work area. It looks like you're trying to live in a more relaxed energy around things. Like you're trying to take a better view of like, well, who knows what's going to be happening a year from now. You're not as concerned about, what's my 1-year plan? What's my 5-year plan? What's my 10-year plan? You're more like, well, I think I'm fine for about 6 months and I can change things as I need to. You're not going to need to change much of anything. You have a lot of increase coming to you, but you need to take a new perspective on the concept of like what relationships are in your life. I've got snake, use your intuition and healing powers. They will guide you to a better path, but be careful. I don't think you need to be careful of a particular person. World, be open to new possibilities in all areas of your life. I get this message repeatedly for this collective. People who it took a long time to heal, and now you're hesitant around approaching the world enthusiastically. And that's kind of all it is. You're just that little bit too guarded, and it's part of a healing stage. It's one of the signs that you're not as healed as you think you are. when you're fearful at the thought of new connections, new friendships, new relationships, rather than, well, let's see, if I met somebody I really vibe with them, that'd be great. You're a little bit like no, never again on too many fronts, but you're very busy. You're very creative in the month of May. You have a lot of people reaching out to you. And again, that weird email or text message or something that's coming in that has confusing at first news, but it turns into something very, very good for you. For people who are looking for jobs, I have new hiring energies. I have very good energies around that. The world is in a state of yet again. Try not to pay too much attention to it. Remember, focusing your energy on something that you don't have any power to impact is just a draining experience. Impact what you can, go towards what you can. It's not the same thing as living in denial. It's just recognizing that the bulk of my energy should be spent towards building my life, not worrying about what's coming. Believe in yourself. You can handle what's coming. This is Teacher Lang's deck. I'm going to repeat that thing again. There's a link in the description box down below if you'd like to purchase it. I do not receive anything if you do. I was given it. One of my clients created a really fun oracle deck with really common sense sayings on it that I have been enjoying tremendously. I told her she sent it to me. I would feature it in the astrology reads and a couple of reads, and that's what I'm doing. We have birds. Whoa. Apparently birds are about messages, and that's what really came through there. Birds are chirping, and a sign of better days right now and right here. That's a lovely echo. I will take it. And then hell yes, apparently knowing what you need makes it all right. She did a great job with the artwork. And then again, I actually really like down to earth messages. Must be my Taurus nature, but I get very frustrated with the things that are a little bit too, I kind of want to say airy fairy, like, well, spirit would never do anything to like hold you back. And it's like people are writhing in agony sometimes when you're saying that to them. Spirit knows that there is a plan. And sometimes it can feel like you're going through an inferno, and you kind of have to trust that it's like, this is horrible, this is terrible, but it will pass. Just keep telling yourself things will get better. I will release energies that no longer aid me, and I will heal and release. And the divine is never trying to kick your butt, but sometimes we're very resistant to learning, and we have this very pitched quality to our lessons. We have soulmate. What's going on here? That's that relationship energy. This is the group that keeps being told, hey, listen, a relationship keeps trying to come to you, but you're very shut down to it. And it's going to be really hard for your soulmate to reach you if you're like, you barely answer your phone. Just remember that. Will they figure it out? Yeah, they'll figure it out. But if you're wondering, it's like, well, am I just going to be alone forever? No, but you're not helping sometimes. And they just would like you to try and be like, talk to people out in the world, smile, make eye contact. Don't shut down around the idea of being receptive. I think you feel very foolish about something that happened in the past, and you shouldn't. Just because somebody else is sinister doesn't mean that you are foolish. Get our two turned over there. Higher love, oracle, soulmate, moderation, self-control. Remember, you are the person who is in financial matters. A lot of financial energy this month. Moving on and escape. Balance. A balanced partnership is trying to be part of your life. Past relationships that were diminishing and depleting rather than things that were trying to give to you and to serve you have led you to hold back too much. Again, if you're with somebody, you're already paired up, that would mean this part of the message is not for you. But for everybody else, because I have people on a healing journey, I attract almost exclusively healers. And not all healers will work as healers, but you have healing energy. And healers usually have been badly traumatized. Part of like the ability to have empathy and compassion for other people's suffering is that you will have had experience in overcoming your own. And that does not mean that you got your butt kicked to help other people, but it does mean that there's a silver lining to having had your butt kicked. So look at it that way. And when we start talking about that, people always have that, why energy. Realistically, there are people who are born in lands that don't even have clean drinking water. There's a lot of suffering in this world. If we connect to the divine and try to overcome it and learn our lessons without feeling uniquely afflicted because things have been difficult, things are very, very difficult. This is a difficult experience. Life can be difficult, But when we learn from it, we expand, we grow, we make everything more positive. The why is kind of, well, because it's the what you were handed, and we all have to sort through it. And like, I've been through a lot. So honest to goodness, I'm not dismissing anybody's pain, but healing becomes easier when you stop asking why, and you start asking, how can I make this better? I deserve to feel better. Because you're not being punished if bad things have happened. You're not. It can feel that way. If you tap in, you'll be given guidance on how to make things better. And that's the secret to this existence. People will be challenged. People have terrible things happen to them. If they try to connect with source, with the collective, with the divine, then they are given information on how to keep climbing that staircase to ascend to this reality. And if they don't, then they kind of get stuck in that, mired down in the, but it's hard. And why did this happen to me? It happens to everybody. When you connect, you're given that leg up, that boost, that assistance. To be fair, people say life isn't fair. Life is actually fair. Life is actually fair in that everybody will have calamity and everybody will have the opportunity for joy. And if you feel like that doesn't describe you, try to find what is joyful in your life right now. Even if it is just, I'm really enjoying this wonderful sandwich in my otherwise catastrophic, hellscape of a life, at least you have that. And that builds from there. Like energy attracts like energy. When you're enjoying your life, when you're celebrating it, more can come to you. I have vegetarian. Oh, interesting. A new way of eating gives you more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities. This is actually true. You don't have to go full metal vegan on the situation if you don't want to. I don't personally eat meat, and I kind of haven't for a very long time. It's because it's a lower vibrational food. If you're not interested in like completely eradicating meat, around any type of manifestation work that you're doing, do two meat-free days heading into it. It will allow it to clear your system, and it will, like, some counts. We're an all or nothing type of society, but some counts, some can help. If you're trying to make your life better, trying to live in a higher and higher vibration, remember, eating less meat and less animal-based products can help raise your vibrations. It does not have to be across the board. And remember, one of the lowest vibrational energies is actually alcohol, because it's a depressant. And so it's fine. Cannabis is fine because that's actually the opposite energy. It takes you to a higher vibration. But unfortunately, alcohol is a lower vibration. I have a rule where I will only drink to celebrate at this point in my life. And that means that, sometimes I'll only have 3 drinks a year or something, but that's fine. And why? I'm a little bit prone to depression. And so I have to be a little bit careful around that. But May looks like you have multiple choices around feeling that uptick and anxiety, and then applying the tools that you have learned to kind of take it out, to take the battery pack out of it. Grounding is always so important. Trees are so helpful to healers as well. They take dark energy, take it to source where it can harm them. There's this, it's like, what I've got here is that as things are expanding, there's a fearful part of you that wants to withdraw from it. And this reminder is quite simply, like, keep going forward. You did all that work so you could have more in your life. Stop trying to live in a vault so that nothing hurts you any longer. In your eagerness to make sure that you're not in pain and protected, unfortunately, you're blocking out a lot of things that are joyful and wonderful and hilarious and fun, and allow you're going to risk. We have to risk to have gain. There is risk in allowing new people into our lives, but as you're stronger and better at recognizing red flags, there's less and less risk, because people don't get too close to you before you realize, oh, you're bad news. The thing is that in order to avoid the weeds, you're never going in the garden. Just take the weeds out, enjoy the flowers. Okay, we have details, spark, something new starting, compass, gentle gardener, encouragement. Gentle gardener is taking the seeds that we are given to allow us to kind of have a new experience, to grow new things. The encouragement card is you're never alone. And the gentle gardener is about the divine understanding that sometimes certain negative things have to occur so that we can learn the lessons to make more and more positive things happen. And that's part of the why. Sometimes we are given tests that are difficult. Sometimes we are tested beyond what we would find comfortable. Our souls do determine before we ever get here that there are certain lessons they would like to learn before we leave this earth. It can be a little bit difficult. And like, I know that like, particularly the whole your higher self determined, it's like when you're in the middle of something for a really long time, you can really feel the urge to be like, can I divorce my higher self? My higher self's a jerk. Your higher self is a part of you that understands that no matter what you're going through, there is a way to get through it if you will simply tap into source. And that is never to diminish your pain. Your pain matters so much. And your guides want you to know we care very much. We care very much when you're in pain. Please listen to us because we're always trying to be that pain reliever. Life has sensation in it. And if we only had positive experiences, they would cease to be positive because there would be no contrast. Everything has a counterbalancing energy. If you've had terrible, terrible grief, remember that is also a measure of how much joy you can experience, but you have to allow yourself to experience it. The Queen of Wands, you've got this wonderful, fiery, creative energy. Like I said, there's there's something that comes in a message that changes the scopes of a lot of things. And for some reason, it's going to trigger some old fears. You're being asked to recognize them as old fears, to not let them hold you back in the here and the now. Date, meeting someone new, dating, getting back out there, plan, set a date. You have a new relationship that wants to be in your life. It's like if they have to, they're going to like make the person be lost and show up at your front door, but you're really shut down to something. And the reason that you're receiving messages around that is you are shut down enough that when that person knocks on your front door, you might be like, yeah, it's up there to the right, bye, instead of trying to connect at all. But they're trying so hard to bring you a new love. And you kind of don't want it because your last ones hurt you so badly. Please allow yourself to heal enough that that becomes simply a memory. I have camera, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past, make memories. Learn from the past and leave it behind you and allow your future to encompass gain. Limitation is not safety. It's just limitation. I have clock, needs time, takes time, in time, time to heal, progress. Let yourself move forward. Okay, not enough. Frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego issues, and jealousy. So that whole I will never allow another person to get close to me is actually an ego issue. It really is. Oh, and how is it an ego issue? It's not that you're vain or boastful to be like, nobody's ever going to hurt me again. What it is that you're like in a little bit of a grudge match with the divine. And that's an ego issue. I will never no, I'm not going to risk that. How dare you? How dare you ask that of me? You hurt me way too much. Never, 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 never. And the divine is saying, okay, we're going to try super duper duper hard anyway, because we want every good thing for you. But you're so angry about how much you've been hurt that you won't allow yourself to be joyful any longer. And that's not hurting the divine. That's just limiting your life. So try and expand more. You deserve every good thing. Allow more to come to you. All right, what else do we have going on here before we get the heck out of Dodge? Let's get some energy cards. We'll get a romance angel, and then we're going to go for your cookie card. You stayed behind here. Photograph, which was looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, and make new memories. Allow yourself to make new memories. Part of the reason that you're stuck in this holding pattern around like never again is you won't let anybody in. Here we go. Let's go. I saw that. What's coming up for group number 2 in May of 2022? 1, 2, and 3. Puddles is bad. Puddles snores like a lumberjack, and like I'm always waiting for it to happen when we're on here. We have third chakra, Archangel Shemuel, that is personal power and manifestation. A woman holding a coin, such good money energy for this season. It's Taurus season. It's great abundance magic time. Fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. Second chakra, Archangel Ariel, and then action. Okay, well, like once again, the cards would like you to know they're trying to bring you more love. Like I said, if they have to, they're going to get super duper inventive where people's GPSs stop functioning right beside your house so that you never have to do anything, but your guide team is perplexed as to what else they can do. Because honest to goodness, you weren't being bullied and you weren't being picked on. You weren't being bullied and you weren't being picked on. And ultimately, you're spiting yourself. Like that's like, I'm cringing to even say it because people have been hurt very badly, can get very angry at the thought of somebody saying, well, you just need to let it go. It's like, do you have any idea how much I was hurt? Yes. Yes. Yeah, I do. And so do they. And all they are saying is 100% we see that. And what we're telling you is that something beautiful wants to be in your life that will make it all better. But you're so angry that that happened that you won't let anything else in. And ultimately, that just limits your life. It does not protect you because loneliness is painful. Isolation is painful. Not allowing human beings into your life will eventually lead to an ever diminishing return on the idea of life. And it doesn't need to be romance and it doesn't need to be close friendships if you don't want, but it does need to be the ability to receive new things, which frequently come to us through people. All right, let's check your angel answers card and your cookie card. I'm so afraid what it's going to say. If you believe, thank goodness, I thought it was going to say romance, and I'm like, please, please, please don't nag them. All right, and then perseverance, which you got as well. You may feel like you're getting nowhere. All your hard work has paid off. Don't be self-limiting. Allow yourself to have a big experience. More wants to be in your life. Everything took a lot longer than you wanted it to because you're badly energetically injured. You're much better now, but there is still a part of you that holds things back. And there is this little bit of an energy of I'll show you to your spirit guides. Honest to goodness, please hear this part. Nothing in this universe ever wanted you to be badly hurt. And they tried absolutely everything to be like, not that person. Oh God, they're staying with that person. And that is not to put the blame on you. It's just, it also, because it's not there. Anybody who mistreated you, that's on them. It's not on your spirit guides for not being willing to drop a piano on somebody's head to save you. Because until such time as you had saved you, like there'd been a lot of people squished by pianos because like you wouldn't have had the discernment to only allow the worthy in. And that's why it reached a pitched level, is that it took a really long time for you to accept, I really should only allow good people into my life. And it's not your fault. Like as near as I can tell, you had a caretaker who was absolutely poisonous and told you you were worthless. They were in pain and they were wrong to do that to you. Don't turn around and now do that to you. Accept that you deserve every wonderful thing and go towards it. All right, let's get going for pile number 3. Timestamps will be edited in after the broadcast. Wonderful month for abundance. Something around that email changes everything. Group number 2, take care. I will see you in, oh my goodness, June. And we're moving on to pile number 3. Hey, pile number 3. We have Sky Bridge, possibility for union. Is it just the same message over and over again? We'll find out. Opportunity to forgive. This situation brings you the opportunity to heal, grow, and release negative patterns. Hold the intention of seeing the other person's inner divine light and goodness. We will help you release unforgiving thoughts, feelings, and energies and lift you to a higher place of peace and compassion. Forgiveness is a tough one because sometimes like people have suffered positively criminal offenses. And what is forgiveness? It is letting go of the energy. It's not the same thing as saying what you did is okay. Every now and then, there can be something so terrible, so damaging, so toxic, and so downright evil that, like, I say this all the time, I do perform one form of curse. It's a God's justice curse. It's the color purple curse. Until you do right by me, everything you even think about is going to fail. And the only time I perform it is when forgiveness does not become possible because you're worried about what the perpetrator of a crime against you might do to others. And in those instances, that's when it's like you give it over to the divine, make them pay their karmic debts in this lifetime to impede them from hurting others. And that's what that curse does. In most instances, people are just coming, evil is there, evil is in this world, sinister presences exist. Sometimes people have attachments that influence them, but for the most part, people, even when they hurt you, have simply made a mistake. Sometimes they're confused. Sometimes they're coming from their own damage. Very little of the incredible amounts of damage that can come from interpersonal relationships has to do with malice. Every now and then there will be malice, and that's when you do give it over to the divine. Listen, I can't carry this burden. I ask that you take it from me, and I trust that you will do right by me and by that person's higher self, because that's why that curse works. Because it's actually in line with the person's highest self. For their highest good, they need to learn this lesson because they're drawing themselves down and degrading their energy and taking them farther and farther away from the divine into connection. That's why it's a curse, but not really a curse. It's not ill intent. It is giving something to the divine and saying, turn up the heat so this person will learn so that they can evolve. But most of the time, people are just stumbling. If somebody has stumbled and hurt you, please don't hold them responsible for all the ways that other people have let you down. Because a lot of times people are asking for forgiveness, and we don't understand that. Let somebody make amends. If you've ever hurt somebody and not meant to, put yourself in their shoes, see yourself in everybody. We all make mistakes. Possibility for union and forgiveness. Ooh, pine spirit, purification. That's what I was just talking about with that intent. Why that curse can work is that it has pure intent. It has good intent. You can have very pure intent. If you're injured while acting from a place of pure intent, you have mighty forces on your side if you call for justice. And it's rare that that happens, but it's not unheard of. Particularly if you're a powerful person, you may have had a high-level predator. Swan, grace, you who glides across the water of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. Allow yourself to live in the energy of love. You do not need to carry a sword and a shield with you everywhere. You don't. Be loving and be open, and know that most of the time now you're going to be able to look at other people, and what they're saying or doing doesn't affect you because you just see it coming from a place of pain within them. And you know it's not about you, and so it doesn't dent, hurt, or stab you. You can move forward in compassion and just be just as safe as you are if you're rolling into this world in an armored tank. Focus on the positive. Let's see, you just fell down. We're going to take your angel answers card and your cookie card, which, by the way, since I saw it, I'll add it in there, which is nature. That's a grounding influence. Make sure to ground, focus on the positive, release negative energies. It's a time for abundance to flow to us. I've just explained the new moon, the black moon concept for every pod. I'm going to do it again because after I added in timestamps, everybody should be joining at the time of their reading. The new moon is tomorrow. The new moon cycles last for 3 days. It is the new moon in Taurus. It is particularly good for new love and for abundance. It's also black moon, which is 2 new moons within a month. It can also be 2 full moons. A black moon is a repeating moon within a 1-month cycle, and it's particularly potent because it comes at the beginning of an eclipse season as well. This is an amazing time to release and to reset and to kind of transmute your energy into loving and positive energy. Take advantage of it. Let yourself, it's when people talk about releasing a former version of yourself, you retain that person. It's just you're ever expanding and growing. But you never actually bury a part of yourself or release a part of yourself. You just expand it. The reason I don't like the idea of releasing a former version of yourself so much is it seems like judging a part of yourself. Your former self is wonderful. Even if they screwed up and wandered around and made all kinds of mistakes, the reason that you're here doing your healing work is that person was resilient and they kept trying to try. Admire them for being resilient. Never criticize your former self. That is the student that got you to this graduate degree. All right, we have Yang and happy, happy. Yang is the masculine energy. Possibility for union, opportunity to forgive, happy, happy. You may also be holding yourself back from moving on because it's almost like you think that that sends the message to a particularly toxic person that what they did was not as heinous. Listen, that person is haunted in ways that you will never truly encompass. Sincerely, like if you called for any type of justice, that person is surrounded at all times. Wow. Okay. Worry. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. This is so important for anybody who has intuitive people, psychic people have a problem with anxiety because that very same energy, there are so many infinite timelines available to us, infinite outcomes available to us based on our choices. Now, there are fateful occurrences because we get course corrected back to them. But worry won't do anything other than drain you. Don't borrow problems you don't have. And if you find yourself worrying about the future, recognize it as anxiety and take corrective practices around it. You deserve to be happy in this life, and that Yang is taking control of the situation as well. The weasel and pine, introspection. Examine your choices. Examine your choices. Make sure they are serving you and not about preserving a stage in healing. I have servant, delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. What was I just saying? Approach the world with love. You do not need to be guarded in order to be safe. You're safer just by how you view people now. Shadow attribute is using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. Boy, that's the wording on that is confusing. Poverty really does hold people back. Like, it's a world that values money to, like, frankly, a sick degree. But this is not talking about poverty. This is talking about not going towards your dreams until everything is insured, everything is secure. There are no guarantees in life like that. Quit trying to have an insurance policy around never getting hurt again. As I keep saying, you are different. You keep yourself from being hurt. Even if something bad happens, even if somebody tries to infringe upon your boundaries or deceives you, or it will have less of an impact because you have a much healthier view. It's not to say you were unhealthy, you were injured. It's not the same thing. Unhealthy, like, kind of suggests unwholesome. Injured is you just had an area of your life that you needed to bend the energy in. Recognize that you did. Teacher, light attribute, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. Shadow attributes are manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative traits, and destructive skills. Every time you gain insight into your healing process, no matter who you are, no matter what you work in, remember you are being given tools to help others with. It's not a profession, it's a purpose. We can all be teachers as we heal. We can all embody the lessons that we have learned, and not in a condescending manner, but rather in a recognition, in the way that we recognize what has been done to others. And recognizing where we, like, you can meet somebody and they're stuck in a period and you can, like, be like, wow, that really reminds me of myself 3 or 4 years ago. And instead of shutting that out and being like, they'll learn, help them learn. Help them learn. Always acknowledge somebody else's pain. Don't dismiss it as being unimportant. To them, it is the thing defining their existence at that particular time. It's distracting. The amount of pain people can be in, it distracts them from every other form of their life because they can't focus on anything other than pain. Even one person acknowledging, I'm so sorry you're hurt. can start lessening that load. And that's what people frequently are doing, is just looking for one person to care how much they've been hurt. You can never, ever solve somebody else's difficulties for them, but acknowledging something and sharing with them what helped you without talking about it again in that condescending manner. Remember, we're pretty much all equal. No matter where you are in your spiritual journey, even if you believe yourself to be more evolved and have learned many lessons, if you're looking down on anybody else, you're not that evolved. Everybody has a different stage in learning. Look at everybody with compassion, and you'll have more compassion for yourself. I have the Five of Swords in reverse. I have the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. Awesome money energy for May. Awesome money energy for May. Business and the Queen of Pentacles have been in this read quite a bit. The Fool in the upright is the leap of faith energy that is starting again. It's traveling lightly. It's also leaving the past behind. Retain the lessons, release the painful energy. It's so hard when people have been badly traumatized not to like really withdraw from the idea of, but that's the exact same set of circumstances that laid me so low, I almost died. No, it's not. It can never be the exact same set of circumstances if you're different. Five of Wands in reverse, Five of Swords in reverse. Lots of fives in reverse. Interesting. Five of Pentacles in the upright. 555, energy of change. That's anxiety and worry as well. Don't get caught in anxiety spirals. Ace of Swords in reverse. Strength card in the upright. Five of Cups in reverse. I freaking knew that was going to be there. Well, we've got all fives on the table. Three are in reverse. Only the Five of Pentacles is in the upright. Remember, that can be about feeling anxiety, feeling victimized, feeling like you have no sanctuary. It can be monetary deprivation. I really don't think it is in this one. Knight of Swords in reverse with the King of Pentacles in the upright. Seven of Wands in the upright. Holding your ground, having the high ground. It can be a surprise as well, being taken unaware. Six of Wands in reverse. I have the Four of Swords in reverse. Knight of Cups in reverse. Oh, King of Cups in reverse. Ten of Wands in the upright. Page of Pentacles in the upright. The Chariot in the upright. Nine of Pentacles in the upright. You have good money energy. That's successful energy. I like that. It's been delayed, and so you don't have as much faith in it as you used to. Ace of Wands in reverse. Nine of Swords in the upright. Three of Pentacles in reverse. You have the opportunity to forgive somebody in May. You're really angry. It's okay to tell them how angry you were. But it's also okay to see them just as a struggling soul. I have somebody coming in and trying to offer you an apology on something they let you down on. And your reaction, your knee-jerk reaction is very much a, A, B, C, D, E, F, U. Like you're really not, you don't want to be there for it because you want somebody to pay. You paid plenty, and now is the time for gain. There is no gain in revenge. There isn't. Now, I don't know if it was for this pile or the pile before where I was talking about righteous cursing, which can happen. There is a form of cursing in celestial and angelic magic. But that is not retribution. That is worrying about other people being protected by something that hurt you. That is on the table. If somebody comes to you and says, I want to make amends. I made a mistake. It was an accident. I see what I did. I was just this. I was just that. Please don't be punishing towards them. I have somebody trying to come back into your life, and it's like you're going to have to reach for your higher self, because this person is an opportunity for you to vent your feelings that are actually inspired by somebody else. And you're being asked to look at that. Make sure you don't project your pain onto that person, because I think you have in the past. To that particular person. Forgive them. I don't know. Oh, there's a lot about relationships there. and see where they belong in your life. See where they belong in your life. Okay. Yep. 5 of Cups in reverse. Even if it takes a different path than you thought it would, maybe that connection was still there to serve something beautiful. Oh, well, apparently the well isn't any good without the bucket. And if you knew better, you'd say, screw it. I love Teacher's Deck. There's a link to purchase it in the description box down below. It's so forthright, which I like. I'm a very direct person. And so I was like, this is perfect for me. Sometimes you do have to decide how you're going to react. It is that responding, not reacting thing. You have this opportunity early in May, to recognize how strong you truly have become. But it's going to be a sore test for you, because it's like this person participated in doing something and they didn't mean to. Don't take it out on them. It wasn't their idea. I have Destiny of the Lotus Hope Blossom. Apparently, much fortune as told, your purpose is not of this world. There is more to life than your life's purpose. There really is. There is silliness and adventure and fun and beauty, and it is wonderful that you're diligent. Push and pull energy. It has something to do with this returning energy, where you're at a little bit of a crossroads with somebody. Be the best version of yourself that you can be, because you hold yourself to quite a standard, particularly when looking backwards sometimes. I have energy cleanse, and then I have new love, regret, and inner strength. Like I said, somebody wants to apologize to you. You're going to want them to justify something. They were just sick. You've been sick in your life. Just try to forgive them. Regain balance was the one that stayed behind. Not a bad message at all, but kind of a deep one. May looks amazing. There is so much going on. It's kind of a beautiful month. There's connection. There's this opportunity to finally turn around and walk away from something. You have all 5s on the table, and the only, okay, I understand now. You have 3 5s in reverse. It's about grief. You finished grieving. Your anger has been resolved. Your confusion has been resolved. But the pain, I think, of being misused in something is the thing that you have an opportunity to turn that other 5 in reverse. Remember, we really are all connected. There's something really nice around that I can't figure out. There's like, it doesn't have this big impact on what's possible for you, but it has an impact on feeling divine love again, because you feel divinely connected, but like love is not necessarily what you feel. Like you have faith, but you don't think the divine cares if you're happy. And the divine quite simply says, sometimes you can't be happy because you're busy learning difficult lessons. Learn them, and then you get to be happy again. Pregnancy, the birth of a child brings great blessings to you and the world as the start of something new. Can it be real pregnancy? Yes, but I do not have any other mother cards on this particular one. Page of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. Release the past to enjoy the future. Release the past to enjoy the future. Group number 3. What else do I need to get for you for this one? That relationship, opportunity to forgive as well. Worry. Self-protection is important. remember, don't confuse self-protection with self-defense. Self-defense can be where you see everybody as an adversary or a foe. Self-protection is you can whip out your sword only when it turns into a battle. Don't go into things anticipating one. All right, here we go. Let's get some enchanted map cards. Hey guys, how are you? Oh, is that Jason's thumb? No, it's behind you. And hi, Deletus. And then I've also got Lynn. Hi. Yes, for once I can almost see the screen. It might be closer to my face or something. I really am very myopic. Not really sure. Here we go. Let's go for enchanted map cards for group number 3. I love this month's energy. It is like the start of a new decade or something. It's a new era for you if you will let it be, but it's like you're trying to wall off too many areas because it's like what's behind that door sucks. No, what you've experienced sucked. Let new experiences come to you so that you can take a different perspective on what has happened. It is so hard to believe that you will be grateful for your struggles, but when you learn the lessons and then the energy is brought to you in a different form, in a healthier form, in a thriving form, it can change how you feel about what has come. Movement with Chariot as well. Deep freeze. Ride the wave. We're going to do deep freeze, movement, ride the wave. Things are finally getting going again with magic prayer. Magic prayer is manifestations with spirit of place. Be the person that you want to admire. You have an opportunity to take something out on somebody. And because they're a little bit standing around with a, it's okay if you kick me sign on them. You can give them what for, because I think they really did screw up, but finish giving them what for with, but I also see everything that you are. I don't just weigh you out by your negative attributes. We all have them. All right, your angel answers card is look for a sign. I don't know about anybody else, but I've been synchronicity out the wazoo of late. I can't look at a clock without it being 2:22 or 4:44 or 3:33 and when that is happening, that is a sign that manifestations are coming in. When you're surrounded by synchronicities, one of the things that can happen when things are about to manifest, and that can it can happen for the course of a couple of years as well, is that you lose absolutely everything to make room for new things. If you're getting a bunch of synchronicities, you should actually feel very different as well. And nature, please interact with nature. Healers need natural beauty because healing is very connected to growing. Nature is very connected to growing. Make sure that if you can't get to nature because you live in the middle of a concrete jungle, watch travel programs, look at pictures, listen to nature sounds. It is not proximity, it is the energy that is important. So it's not the proximity to a tree, it's that you are interacting with the energy of a tree. It's always best to get out there if you can, but if you can't, remember there are different ways to interact with the things that would help serve you. All right, so group number 3, enjoy May. Consider, oh, wait, I'm so sorry. We're not moving on yet. I did not get your romance angel. I may not have gotten it for group number 2. That's okay. I don't think group number 2 wanted a romance angel because they have a relationship coming to them that they're I do not want a relationship. Well, so now we're going to get your romance angel, group number 3. I apologize. It almost got past me. There we go. 1 and 2 and 3. What do we got for group number 3? Don't condemn us to celibacy. That's not what it would mean. Oh, separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. We're taking one more. Let your friends help you. Make the effort. Stay optimistic about your love life. All fell out. I think that you have been in separation. Uh-oh, I think I just lost where I was. There we go. I've lost my live stream, guys. Where'd you go? Oh, no. Great love is worth taking steps that you're guided to take. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. It's separation, though. I think a form of separation is ending around something. That's all. That's what I think is going on for group number 3. And once you resolve that, you will release it. And what does it become? I don't know. I don't know. Allow it to become whatever it's meant to be. All right, we have group number 4. Moving on to group number 4. I did remember to get the romance angel after all. Let's go for your excessive pile of oracle cards, because I don't know why I just went crazy with them again. I have the Guardians of the Land protection. Group number 4 is always intriguing. Remember, the numbers actually correspond to the elements. Group number 4 is air. Now, that does not mean that you go by your earth sign, your air sign, your sunshine. That's not what it means. Every month, a different element will call out to you as being your ruling element. That's why you should switch around in piles. But group number 4 is the element of air. Protection. I have rebel. Ooh. Challenges authority to effect social change, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. Shadow attributes, rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. I don't know what's going on here yet. Prince, light attribute, romantic charm and potential for power. Shadow attribute, using power for self-aggrandizement. Are you gonna have to like go toe to toe with somebody? Let's find out. Moose, wisdom. Let your head and mind reach to the stars, yet keep your feet grounded on the earth. Listen to the ancient wisdom in your soul. The ancestors speak through you. You know much. It's like you're going to have a confrontation with somebody that I think would have like sent you spiraling in the past. And instead, you're going to feel like a foot taller. And it's interesting because that person's used to getting their way with charm. The rebel thing, I think the shadow attribute is rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. Don't be a contrarian just to be a contrarian. It's like you're going to have a confrontation with somebody, you settle it, and like then you won't agree to things because you're making a point. Don't do that. Like take the victory and then make the progress. Take responsibility for your actions. Let's put your angel answers and your cookie card over there, and we're going to get your wisdom oracle. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is the wisdom oracle. No place like home and time to go. Time to go, no place like home. Some people could be moving. I have perfect timing. We're getting a lot of perfect timing cards. It really is like there's a new phase beginning, eclipse season, particularly for people who are, if you have Taurus anywhere in your chart, it's going to be a big one. But if you don't, it's still a time where things are transitioning. Perfect timing. Now is the perfect moment for you to act on your inspirations. The doors are open while you walk through them with us by your side. Don't delay or procrastinate, as all of the ingredients are ripe for your success. Everything and everyone is on your side, supporting your positive outcome. Lots of progress around this one, like kind of leaning in on lessons that you've already learned. You've not felt protected, but you always have been. Health, I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Take good care of yourself. I'm always telling you, please drink plenty of water. Living in a state of balance is one of the things that can help with your overall wellness. Do not work to the depletion of self. Life is best lived in balance. You cannot do everything in a day. If you're pushing and pushing and pushing to try and make something happen, remember, it's not that it will make it happen more quickly. Most of the time it won't, because perfect timing, it will just leave you kind of ragged. Find joy in the month of May, because there's a lot of opportunity for increase and for working hard. Just make sure that you're prioritizing all aspects of your life. The owl and hop, wisdom. Well, you've got wisdom in 2 different places. Apparently your advice is going to be needed as well. And a me-tox, repairing the mind, body, and spirit. The reason I did that is the health card and prioritizing proper things. One of the things that is coming through almost immediately. Now, again, I think it's a work situation where somebody is just like, they're trying to be a dictator in your life. And you shut them down with cool and with ease. And they kind of respect that because they're just a boundary tester. And then after that, you've got, like I said, you've got that weird energy of this deck is so big, I have to shuffle it in like, quarters. You kind of have that energy of saying no to make a point. And it's like, make sure you're saying no to actually say no beyond the first initial, like kind of looking for the concession. This is the Star Tarot, and it's beautiful. It is a bigger deck, and that's why, and it's got very thick cardstock, and that's why it's almost impossible to shuffle just as one chunk if you're doing a bridge. There we go. And I never bridge it because it's just going to break the cardstock. There we go. But it's beautiful artwork, and if you're comfortable with larger decks, boy, is it a good inclusive energy. It's very, very vibrant, and it's good for people who have a full emotional spectrum. And does that mean that other people don't? No, but some people have very intense emotions. Very powerful people have very intense emotions. It is a measure of power. Learning to regulate them and control them is one of the things that allows you to harness your power. You're feeling your power in a confrontation with somebody. The wisdom card coming out twice is really intriguing to me. 6 of Wands in the upright. That's a movement card. It's also a social media star card. It's also progress. It can actually be moving. And I have that no place like home and time to go. For some people, it might be like, there's going to be an opportunity to relocate. We'll find out what you're supposed to do with that or what you're being advised to do with that. Remember, our future is made by our choices. We have certain fateful occurrences that, like, the universe will bend reality to get us into a place where we have to face a certain set of circumstances that are fateful. But for the most part, our life is determined by the choices that we make. Our spirit guides are working with our choices, but they try and give us information to influence them so that we get the best possible outcomes. That is why your spirit guides are never actually responsible for the things that happen to you. They're always trying to help you have better things happen to you. And you can scream and yell at them and they will never, ever, ever, ever mind. Partially because they don't really have the type of feelings that you and I do, but also because they understand how your spirit guides have almost always been human. Angels never have been and never will be. And when you invoke angels, and like someday I'm going to tell the story of the spell where I invoked 4 archangels and cracked the world around me, basically, to try and get myself out of a bad situation. And it worked, but not keeping in mind the angels do not, like, if they're like, yeah, no, she'll be fine in like 4 years, and not paying attention to but the first 2 will be hellacious, because that's not how they work. That's not how they work. They will break you to make you, and they will break you hard. Your spirit guides are the ones that want to protect your feelings, your ability to love, your ability to experience joy as well. Whereas angels are more about keeping you on your fateful path. Work in tandem with spirits and angels, your spirit guides and angels. Try not to just rely on one or the other, because the thing about spirit guides is they really do want the best for you, but they don't press things as much as they might sometimes. They're very respectful of our free choice. Whereas when you invoke an angel and you're like, I suspend my free will, fix this, they can be like, sure, we're going to blow up that bridge. We're going to burn down that house. Whew, that just crater it. That's how they can work, because they work very, very efficiently. Your spirit guides are more like gently turn left to have the scenic route to your destination, where you will see many pretty vistas and meet interesting people. And that's their preferred path for you. Angels are all about fate. Knight of Swords in the upright. Well, that's swift progress all over the place. You got movement energies, like, whoa, with the 4 swords in reverse, and it continues. With the High Priestess in reverse, which is clarity, things coming to light. Judgment in reverse, which is a new karmic cycle. Everybody is heading into one if you're part of my collective. Basically, only healers are part of my collective. I have all those pick a card readings and things that, like, are going to appeal to a greater audience. But the people who watch these monthlies, you're almost exclusively healers. Even if you don't work as healers, you have the ability to transmute energy. You are light workers, you are light warriors, you are star seeds as well. Is the narrative around that literal? No, it's not, but it's breaking it down into bite-sized pieces that we can understand, just as all relationships to faith and to power are. They are telling us a story in a way that we can understand it. But is it the literal truth? No, because we can't really understand the literal truth. The Hermit in the upright, which is the Virgo card. It's also the soul searching card. Oh, he's got an owl with him. Okay, that's wisdom as well. Owl on the wisdom card, owl on this particular hermit's shoulder. You're going to have an opportunity to put into play all of the hard work that you did. Ace of Cups in reverse, with the Chariot in reverse. Only like something coming to an end can be a canceled plan as well. Queen of Swords in the upright. You have traveling energy in 3 different areas though. 7 of Swords in reverse, another card of clarity and secrets being revealed. 9 of Cups in reverse. 3 of Swords in reverse. Okay. A past disappointment ceases to matter as you step into a healed energy. It really is almost like there's a situation that you've probably been thinking of every single day of your life since it happened. And every day you wake up, and at the moment that it finally occurs to you, you're like, not today. Today's not the day. I don't think of it. The day you're going to realize that it's been like, wait, oh, that's the first time I thought of that in a week. You're going to recognize that you have left something behind. And it is a past disappointment. I have the 4 of Wands in reverse. King of Wands in reverse. 4 of Pentacles in the upright, being guarded with a former partner, it looks like, is going to be, because they're going to try and push your buttons because they know how. Don't let them. You're living in a very healed and secured energy. And something, it's like, it doesn't matter. You're going to be so delighted because somebody from your past, who's quite frankly a jerk, is going to try and push your buttons. And instead of being like, I'm very conscious that they're trying to push my buttons, but I'm overcoming that, I'm rising above, you're going to, in retrospect, be like, oh, look at those machinations. They tried to push my buttons. Like it's going to be funny to you how see-through this person actually is. With the Emperor in the upright, that's card of personal power. It's also the card for the astrological sign Aries. This is what I mean about this deck. It's just beautiful. It's just so, so vibrant. 5 of Pentacles in reverse, being brought in from the cold and easing of financial circumstances. 5 of Swords in reverse as well. Lovers in the upright. That's the Gemini card. The Wheel of Fortune in the upright. 7 of Cups in the upright. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. That's spiritual enlightenment as well. Remember, 1 number in the upright, 1 and followed by 1 in the reverse is about download codes. I did a video on what downloads are and what they feel like and what they do. They expand our knowledge. You have a greater connection to spirit. Like I said, somebody from the past comes back, and it's funny how like ridiculous their attempts to manipulate you are. Like you literally, like, it's amusing to you and not know, was I ever that stupid? No, they didn't used to be the see-through. Like they've actually, things have been a little desperate for them. That's part of the reason they're going to try and be back in your life. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let's get a fortune cookie card. What else is coming up? Looks like a potential trip, an invitation. I think it's a group lunch. I'm not sure if you go. I have you being in a very peaceful energy and feeling very settled and being easily amused after a period of being pretty unhappy, because this Ace of Cups in reverse is like you've been drained and unhappy for a while, but there's so much progress. Like you can feel and see the ways in which you're different. It's finally like you can feel your skill set in everyday life, the ones that you've taken so many pains to try and put together, the way you view yourself and view others. Good work energy, lots of progress around a project that you've been working on for a while. Dragonfly, have confidence during this time of great joy, renewal, and connection to spirit. The 7s are about spiritual enlightenment and connecting to the divine. With celebrations, I'm going to say that's accurate. You are ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. Hey, enjoy laughing at that person. Like, kind of enjoy it. It does not, no, you weren't always that blind or something. They really have changed. It's like they're, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of getting a window into this person's life. regret doesn't even begin to cover it. It's panic. They're starting to panic around something. They're starting to panic around something. Are you supposed to help them? Not if it's for their personal gain. If it's going to help somebody else you care about, yes. If it's not, do not enable that monster. Do not enable that monster. But you really will be amused, because like they're, it's like dinner theater acting. They weren't always that bad at it, because you're going to have that question. It's like, were they always this divine feminine? No, they weren't. Like I said, nothing's worked out for them at all. It's like, and they kind of know it's you, that it's what they did with you. It's like if they hang on to something, it's like they feel it dissolve in their grasp. New love, divine feminine, new love. Abundance is near. Wow, slow and steady. Abundance is near. This collective is like they've been called to something to add light and healing energy into a world that is out of balance. It has taken, you were more damaged than you thought you were, and so you've just taken more time to heal. Nothing was ever misrepresented to you. It was just a longer journey than you wanted it to be. It's so important that you see this person. It's just so important that you do, because you're going to understand something about yourself, which is that they didn't appreciate you at all. They didn't appreciate you at all, or at least that you felt that they didn't. And towards the end, they did not. And you're going to get to see what became of them. And remember, they've known for a while that they made a giant mistake. Love life. The basis of your question involves your romantic life, which is now changing for the better. You're one of the groups that, oh, I guess Prince. Yeah, time to go. I don't have a particular energy around, oh, I did. New love, new love. Be open to new possibilities in your life. You never have to have a relationship that you do not wish to, but being shut down to relationships shuts you down to energy exchanges. So just be open to the possibility. Even if you're like, you know what, I've been happily single for 6 years. Why would I like mess this up to let some unknown factor into? First of all, they may not mess something up. They may enhance it and expand it. And then also, you don't have rigid definitions in your life, because they block things and they slow things down. And you've got a lot of frustration around how slow things have been. And it's because you have very rigid definitions with the Four of Pentacles. You have very rigid definitions. You have very rigid definitions. It's okay. I have to work on that as well. Hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, and working on it. Sabotage. Sometimes you do self-sabotage your own happiness. Don't we all? The runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. Almost like one of the revelations that I've had in 2022 is that like I have a terrible habit of abandoning people, and I never really thought of it that way. I just never thought it mattered to people very much, so I just kind of be out of their life. But I was talking to somebody I hadn't talked to in kind of a long time, and discovering just how painful it was for them that I was gone. And I was like, I'm really sorry. I didn't think of it that way. And I had been just ridiculous. Whenever I talk about my childhood, it's just ridiculous. It's like I was written by Dickens or something. I did have a lot of terrible things happen to me. A lot of really good things happened to me as well. But it did cause all kinds of emotional issues that I've been healing my whole life. If you have been the runner, you can learn how to not be. And it doesn't mean that you become the chaser. You live in the secure attachment style energy when you're healed. Normally, I've been the runner. Like looking back over my relationship history, that's pretty much all I've ever done. Abundance, there's been one instance where I wasn't, but like I was convinced that something was something that it was not. Abundance. Keep a positive mindset, manifest exactly what you want, gratitude and bliss. And that was actually part of the spell that I referred to earlier. I was protected in something. I was distracted by a potential, like it's a very well constructed thing. The point being is that we will be sent things to help us break through our toxic patterns. Allow the toxicity to change into something healthy. Allow it to change. If you've been afraid of connection, remember, we again, I'm always saying this because it's true, we really are all one. If you fear other people, then you have fear in your heart. Allow, people don't have to be perfect to be part of your life. Karmic relationships, fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go and loving you. Somebody's coming back into your life, and they were like, I kind of want to say just a very, very toxic person. And that karmic relationship, part of the reason I think it helps is you can see that you learned your lessons and you have a form of compassion for them. You have a form of compassion for them and seeing how desperate they truly have become. Here we go. Let's go. 1 and 2. Let's get some higher level oracle cards. Then we're going to go to, what else are we going to do? I want to get your energy cards. And then I'm going to get a romance angel. I think I might have forgotten it for group 2, but considering the message for group 2, that was probably not an accident. Crisis and disappointment, achievement and good fortune, leave the past behind. Family support. Boy, they're really going to try and tug at your heartstrings. Loss issues. I'm taking one more. Learning and training. You have a manipulator who has been in your life, who's returning to your life in May. Like I said, it's like dinner theater. It's like dinner theater. You're not going to be like laughing at it, ha, 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 ha. But it is going to just amaze you that it's like, wow, I don't need to worry about that person hurting anybody else. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you see somebody who you once saw as menacing as thoroughly pathetic, and that allows you to have compassion for them because you know the rest of their life is defined. Very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And then I have codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Let's put that the other way, codependency, and then very soon. If you have been recovering from codependency, remember you will be given tests around how healed you are, but very soon, apparently, you have something real trying to come to you. We did have new love, and I forget what else we had that was telling me that there was going to be another relationship trying to come to you. It's like you need to take one look at this Gorgon and be like, wow, you're not turning me to stone any longer. And then you're free. You're free. And you have a lot of respect for yourself afterwards as well. Boy. All right, your angel answers card is take action. The reason I pause there is like I keep getting this vision of how you will see this person finally. And you're not going to glory in how bad things are for them. You're not. That doesn't mean that you're weak. It means that you're kind. All right, challenges. You'll be challenged on multiple fronts. Again, you have an argument with somebody, you win, and you have a little bit of trouble being like, and the victory is mine, and now I move forward without needing to underline it. It's about boundaries. It's about boundaries and recognizing when you set them more than anything. All right, group number 4, that was your reading for May of 2022. Super good money energy, super good work energies. Everything practical in 3D is clicking along like crazy. Make sure that you're enjoying your life as well. And then lots and lots of stuff for all groups about examining the ways in which you have graduated into a healthier energy. And for group number 4 in particular, I wish I could describe like the weird feeling I'm getting because you have a chance to confront somebody and see somebody is a little bit pathetic in your life who like used to be intentionally cruel to you, quite frankly. Don't question what kind of person you are. Don't question what kind of person you are. They have lessons to learn, and don't make things easy for them. It would teach them the wrong lesson. Okay. All right. That was Spirit Guide Monthly for May. Take care. Be well. I will see you in June.